Welcome to another episode of the D103 Senior Advisor Webinar Series. Hi, I am Cassandra Lee, two-time Distinguished Toastmaster and past District Director of District 103 Toastmasters. I am known as the Diva of Dialogue because I use divine inspiration vocally applied to educate and empower my audiences towards personal growth, career success, and in this case, Toastmasters achievement. In today's session, I want you to achieve your Toastmaster success by making certain your club is preparing for elections. Club officers are needed for the next club year. Has your club started to prepare for that? Do you know who your club officers will be for the upcoming year? Are you positioned to have club officers, brand new club officers in place before the summer TLI? Well, if you haven't thought about it, or if you're not yet prepared for it, this session is for you. I am going into the vault to present you with a program that I presented before a fellow group of leaders and district leaders and club leaders. Most importantly, I presented this topic before individuals who were ready to start positioning their club for success by having club officers in place. Get your notepad ready, get your questions in mind. Watch every minute of the episode. That way, you'll walk away from the session having your ideas laid out, your plan in place, and potential officers that you can elect. This video is about an inside look at club elections. Enjoy what you learn, yet most importantly, put it into practice so you can have club officers in place before the summer TLI. Enjoy.
Welcome again, everyone. I'm Cassandra, Diva of Dialog, Lee, your past district director for District 103 Toastmasters. I am facilitating for you today our session on the inside look at club elections. This is a part of our D103 Senior Advisor webinar series. Many of you have heard me mention before what the seminar series is all about. It's a webinar opportunity where I have the opportunity to walk through some different topic areas for you, our club members, our club leaders, and our district leaders. Some of the topics are focused on just that, leadership information. And you may find that it's beneficial for club leaders. It may be helpful for district leaders. Yet other topics give us an opportunity to explore more in-depth information such as conflict resolution, becoming a professional speaker, or any other topic that I think could be beneficial for you. I usually do these once a month. We get together with the recorded session where you have the opportunity to learn something that we don't have time to share with you in a club officer training or even at a TLI. So this is one of those topics that we don't always get an opportunity to delve into on a deeper level, and that's our topic of the inside look at club elections. What I'm going to do for you with this particular session is I'm going to make certain that I can provide you with what I call a month-by-month plan that helps you with preparing for club elections. I'm also going to give you a step-by-step look at the election process. And then last but not least, before we end, I want to make certain that I provide you with some additional resources in addition to the tips and the tricks and the strategies along the way that you will learn. When we're done, I'll be certain to provide you with a set of links. I'm saying that out loud right now, just in case I get to the end and I'm doing Q&A and I get wrapped up in the session and I forget to drop inside of the chat box everything that I want you to walk away with. So just keep me grounded and help me to be reminded that when we're done, when we're in that Q&A segment, that should be my cue to start dropping into the chat box for you the various links that will help you with preparing for and positioning yourself for your club elections starting this month, actually. So why don't we go ahead and start taking a look at the overall goal. Having been a district leader, and I'm thinking back to when I was South Division governor back in 2014, 2015. That's how far back I'm thinking. And that's because that's when I started to notice a difference with what clubs were doing in the current time, as opposed when I first joined Toastmasters back in the 90s. See, back in the 90s, we were taught you want to get your club officers as soon as you can. You want to share that information with Toastmasters International as soon as you can. And what I started to notice was that a lot of our clubs, when we were a part of District 30 and even as a part of District 103, were not sharing their club officer information as soon as possible because they were not yet doing club elections. I was hearing about clubs not doing club elections until the month of June. I'm like, whoa, are you serious? See, I was taught you do club election preparation as early as March, which is why we're doing this session right now. My ultimate goal is to start assisting District 103 clubs, and I know it's going to be a trickle effect. I'm starting it now, and my hope is next year, the year after next, and the year after next, we start to see our clubs following the process that I'll share with you today. You can actually have your club officers in place before the TLI. We know that the TLI is the Toastmasters Leadership Institute. District 103 has a legacy of doing the TLI in June. Therefore, I'm saying everyone that's on this call today, everyone that's in this session today should be able to go back into your clubs and start positioning your new club officers to be in place by June 1st. That's before we even get to the TLI. And as you'll notice here, this is one of my favorite photos. As a matter of fact, it's one of the few photos I still have access to of my club. And this is when Deborah Blackman Parrish was actually our area director. She was able to come and she installed all of the club officers. And this was a happy moment, a special occasion for us. And you'll notice that she gifted all of our officers with these beautiful yellow roses. And what she also found was we were one of the few clubs that had all 7 officers in place and ready to go before that TLI. That's my goal for you. That way, whether you take a picture of your club officers or not, you will know that your club officers are all in place and ready to go by that June TLI. And again, that's my goal for this session and with the content that I'll share with you today. This program is also going to share with you a look, an overview of a few different months in the year. One of the gifts I'm going to provide you is what I call a leader checklist. For some of the leaders that are on this call today, you will recognize the leader checklist because it's been around for quite some time. As a matter of fact, I ended up looking through my files from when I was a division governor to find the checklist and to make certain that I looked at it from when I was program quality director, even when I was district director, and I made some adjustments to make it fit what we're doing currently in our time in Toastmaster. And it will be a 12-month look at what club officers should do, and it will include information about the election. That will be a special gift that I'll provide to you inside of the chat box as one of the takeaways. And again, it's going to be a club leader checklist that will cover the entire club year. The key for this webinar is that we are going to look at the very specific months dealing with prepping for club elections. Remember, I said when I joined Toastmasters back in the 90s, we were taught to start preparing for your club election in the month of March. That's why I decided to make the topic for today be the topic on club elections. And that's because it's March. March is almost over, and most of the clubs still have an opportunity in the month of March for a club meeting. Therefore, I want you to go into your club meeting and I want you to think about preparing these 2 actions. The first one is see if you can put together what is now being called a club leadership committee. You may notice that I have in parentheses nominating committee, because that's what we used to call it. We used to call it the nominating committee, and it was at the club level, and it was chaired by the immediate past club president. The title has changed slightly, and I know that the title is changed to reflect the title change at the district level, because we call the district's nominating committee the district leadership committee. Now we're calling the club's nominating committee the club leadership committee. Notice they're putting the word leadership in both of those committees, whether it's at the district level or the club level, yet the idea is still the same. You're going to have a seasoned club officer, ideally your immediate past club president, who will serve as the chair of this committee. Now, as the chair, they should also seek out the assistance of at least 2 other members. The bylaws say there should be 3 people on this committee. The immediate past club president can actually select the individuals that are on the committee with them, or the club president, the current club president, can appoint the immediate past president along with 2 active members to be a part of the nominating committee. Yet the whole purpose of the nominating committee and the month of March is to have conversations. Have conversations to find out which club members are interested in club officer roles. Now I'm chuckling because I know many of you are thinking right now about your membership. If a phone call was placed to the majority of them, they're going to start shaking their heads and immediately telling you no, they are not interested in leadership. Yet there are some members who may be on the fence about taking on an officer role. A phone call from the nominating committee can help to answer any of their questions, can also help to encourage them to come off of the fence and allow them to start taking on the opportunity to become an officer of your club. The main idea, again, in the month of March, which we still have a little bit of time for, you can start putting together your nominating committee, and the nominating committee can have phone calls or emails, basically reaching out and having communication with all of your active club members to actually see which of them would be interested in holding an officer role and finding out which role in which they would serve. And speaking of committee, I want to mention this. Some clubs do use the committee format to support club officers. And what I mean by that is, in the club leadership handbook, it talks about the vice president of education having an education committee, or the vice president of membership having a membership committee, or the vice president of public relations having a PR committee, and even the sergeant at arms having the hospitality committee. If your club uses the committee format, find out through the nominating committee which of your members would be interested in serving on the committees too. See, initially the nominating committee is going to reach out and find out which clubs are interested in the club officer roles of president, vice president of education, vice president of membership, vice president of public relations, the secretary, the treasurer, and the sergeant at arms. Some of your members are not going to be interested in any of those 7 officer roles. However, they may be interested in serving on the committees that help to support those officers. Allow the nominating committee to make those calls, send those emails, and reach out via communication to find out which of your members would actually like to serve your club next year and in what way they can do it. Now, I spent quite a bit of time here on the month of March, and notice that March is really communication, reaching out, finding out who would be interested. Now, the month of April is where some of the actions start to take place. Now, when I say the action, the primary action in the month of April is to make certain that your club leadership committee is letting the entire membership body know which members are planning to serve as a club officer next club year. Consider your first meeting in April to be the time when your nomination committee or your club leadership committee will present their report. That simply means that your club leadership committee is going to tell everyone in the club which members are interested in serving in a club officer role or committee role, as well as the role or the committee in which they will serve. That's spreading the word, making the announcement, and really solidifying the commitment of your club officers, or those future club officers, I should say. Again, the month of April is when the slate, or the individuals who are interested in serving in next year's club officer roles, will be presented. That's what you'll do in April. In the month of May, the year is almost over. You only have 2 months left in the club year, yet that first meeting in May should be the meeting where you and your fellow members are electing your club officers. You'll make certain that all new club officers are elected. Whenever that first meeting is for you, that's when it'll appear on the agenda. And you should make it a special occasion. Keep your members informed that this will happen, as well as let the candidates know too, so that way they will be present for the election. If you end up having club officer roles that are contested, and I'm not really sure how many clubs have that, yet if you do, you want all of the candidates to be present, because now they'll provide nomination speeches, or candidate speeches, I should say, in order for the membership to vote for that person they believe would be best for the role. So again, the elections are happening in the month of May at your first meeting. I would also say, in the month of May, do it now, do it soon, do it early, and that is submit your club leader list to Toastmasters International. Now, I'm pausing on this one because I'm thinking back to when I was becoming district director, and we were merging out of the District 30 environment and knowing we were about to become a new district in a few months. And we had team members that literally had to call clubs and start to get clubs to submit their club officer list. We had gone past the month of May. We had even gone beyond the month of June. We were still making phone calls to clubs in the month of August for their club officer list. That should not be the case. When your club officer list, when your new club officers, when they are in place, you want to let Toastmasters International know immediately. That way the district can get access to that information. Here's what I discovered as Program Quality Director for District 30 and District Director for 103. When clubs delay in letting Toastmasters International know who their new club officers are, we can't invite the correct officers to the District Toastmaster Leadership Institute. That means the old officers are still getting TLI information because that's who we have on file. We want the new information. So that's why I have it listed here in the month of May. This is a best practice that I've learned from experience. As soon as that election is over, get that list off the Toastmasters International. I say no more than a week should go by after your election that your club officer list is submitted. And truthfully, 48 to 72 hours should be enough from the time of the election to actually get that club officer list submitted. Notice I'm mentioning on the slide that you submit your club officer list inside of Club Central on the Toastmasters International website. That's where you'll submit it because that's where it's easiest. And once it's in the system, Toastmasters International will have access to it, and so will we in District 103. Your club leaders need to be known, so get them into the system early. Now, there are 2 other actions I want you to take in the month of May. Install your club leaders. Remember that beautiful picture I showed you? I'm still proud of that photo. I was proud of that experience when Deborah Blackman Parrish came in as our area director and gave us those roses. She was installing the new club leaders. She literally walked through the script and had us hold gavels and say out loud to the membership, we will commit to serving in whatever our role was. It was a big to-do. Make it a big to-do for your club leaders as well, especially if you haven't really had an installation ceremony before. Now, Deborah, we invited as our area director to lead the installation ceremony. You can invite whomever you want. It can be a member of your club that does it. We typically like to pull in our district leaders. So whether it's our area director preferably or our division director, we'll get those individuals to lead the installation ceremony. And of course, once those new officers are in place, and I really should have had meet with your predecessor somewhere earlier on this list, because I think before a new club leader is installed, technically they should have already met with their predecessor. So anyone who's been in the role before, if you're becoming the vice president of membership in the new year, you want to meet with the person who's serving as the vice president of membership now in order to do that transition meeting. So consider the last action in the month of May to be the transition meeting. Have that transition meeting, exchange files, share best practices, give them areas to watch out for so that way they're not blindsided by things. Keep your successor informed and make certain that as a successor that you do meet with your predecessor. Now, there's one other month, and this is the final month of our club year. This is the last month that as an election prep month, you want to make certain that you get trained. I remember when I was program quality director, I had people saying to me, I went to training already. Do I have to go to training again? Well, that was because a lot of club leaders did not pay attention to the fact that it says 2 rounds, 2 rounds of training. And notice that I specified here that you want to attend the first round of club officer training. That first round of club officer training typically happens in the month of June. The second round is going to happen somewhere around November. Yet, as you're ending, notice what's happening. You're ending this year and you're already preparing or training your new club officers. Their term hasn't even started yet, and they're already attending a TLI. That's early preparation. The district will do a district-sponsored TLI sometime in June. I think this year is going to be the second Saturday in June. So that's a date. If that's June 13th, and don't quote me on the actual date, yet know that it is the second Saturday in the month. That second Saturday will be the opportunity for anyone who gets elected for your club in May. They should mark that calendar date down so they can attend that TLI. I like saying attend the TLI as opposed to the makeup training, because a lot of times the TLI gives you more robust training than the division sponsored training. Remember, division sponsored training is makeup, and we're only trying to give you the net necessities, if you will. We're trying to give you the meat and potatoes at the division training. But at the TLI, oh, we're giving you an appetizer, the meat and potatoes, plus a dessert to go along with it. And you get 2 extra drinks if you like so. So think about the TLI as an opportunity to have more of an in-depth moment of getting trained as a club leader. June is that targeted month, and the legacy has been thus far, District 103 does training at the TLI in June. It might fluctuate between the first Saturday and the second Saturday, yet you can almost bank on the fact that it's going to be in June. Give them that date in May. Let your new officers know that training date in May. Actually, I would tell them that training date when you're talking to them in March and April. That way they're prepared and they're ready to go. If you can get 4 or more of your club officers trained in June, that's 2 thumbs up for you. you're hitting the mark there. And then there's one final action, and this is only if you didn't do it in May. And notice that I'm saying the deadline is June 1st. That club officer list really should be in the TI system before District 103 does its TLI. Doing it in May will ensure that your new officers start to receive the publications or the promotions that come out for the TLIs. Those are the months that I wanted to share with you, and I'm going to stop sharing here. That way I get an opportunity to ask questions. What are your thoughts so far? What questions or comments do you have so far? Of course, you can put any information inside of the chat box. And what I'm doing right now is I'm looking through the chat box to see what questions came through. Sheila, I see that you have a question. You say, who is responsible for submitting the officers list? That's a great question, Sheila. I'll tell you, technically, it should be the secretary because they are the ones that are responsible for the paperwork. Although in a lot of clubs, it depends upon who is the responsible officer that handles that. Yet ideally, and then I do believe that it's in the responsibilities list for the secretary in the club officer handbook. So the secretary would be the first primary person to make certain that gets done. Sometimes it's the VPE, other times it's your president. Yet I think every club has a different dynamic. Yet start with your secretary first. Yes, Rich, I see you. I see your hand is raised. Go ahead and unmute.
My question is, if there's a new club, how is the process different? Because my company Metro is in the process of forming a new club. Thank you.
Oh, as a new club, it depends on what your new clubs. I'm getting ready to say term, and I think I'm not quite sure if that's the right word that I want, yet I'm gonna flow with it for the moment, Rich. If your new club has designated itself as a club that's going to meet or elect your officers annually, then you'll follow a lot of the processes I mentioned. Even if your club has decided you're going to meet biannually, so you meaning you're renewing your officers every 6 months. In essence, you're still doing the same thing. You're just doing it in a shorter amount of time as well. So Rich, do you know if you guys are going to be an annual club or if you will be a biannual club? I know you're trying to unmute yourself.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah. And with the new club too, have you guys chartered at all, Rich or Robert?
Yeah, we're in the process of paying the fee.
Okay, great. So what will happen for your new club is the fact that you guys will elect or select, whichever term works best for you. When you're submitting your paperwork, you're going to let Toastmasters International know who your officers are. And then depending upon what term you've selected, that usually dictates the next time you'll elect club officers. So if you guys are not yet an official club and you're still in the process of doing your paperwork, amongst the group of individuals, you're going to determine who will be the 7 club officers. And therefore, when you submit your charter paperwork, the club officer information will be submitted. And then if you tell International that you will be an officer or that your club will be selecting officers every 6 months, then you'll make certain that you go through that process every 6 months. So yeah, so that's a great question. And for you as a new club, you're still kind of early in the process, yet that was a great question to be prepared for because they do want the officers submitted at the time you submit your charter paperwork.
And we're doing that.
Good, good. Thank you for that. Awesome. Yay, yay. I'm looking through here. So thanks, Dushan, for that comment where you said the secretary. I think that was in response to Sheila's question. And yes, it was to Sheila because Sheila, I think your Pathways guru is asking you how your club is doing in Pathways. So I think that was more meant for you than for me. Maureen, I'm liking your question here. You say, what's the new term for the nominating committee? For the length of time that I mentioned a moment ago, basically, Maureen, the new leadership or the club leadership committee, pretty much once the elections are over, they pretty much are done with their tasks. So they are the busiest in the month of March, because that's when they're doing most of the calling, most of the reaching out. That's when they have more contact with the members. Once that slate is decided, you really don't see the nominating committee do anything else unless they need to replace someone who was on that slate. And then when they go into the meeting in May to handle the elections, the nominating committee chair, or what they're calling now the club leadership committee. So the club leadership committee chair, who's the immediate past president, would be the one responsible for the actual elections. So they would lead the club elections for the everyone. So yep, so those are the terms. It's really short term. So really think about it from basically from March through May. Yeah. Good, good. Ray Willis, thank you so much for your comment. I like the fact that you recognize, you're absolutely right, with that Distinguished Club program with the DCP status. One of the goals is to have the training of officers for both sessions. Yeah, both rounds. That's absolutely right. Yes, I remember as PQD, as Program Quality Director, I was constantly stressing first round, second round, first round, second round. Even if you got trained 6 months ago, you still need to attend training a second time in order to achieve that goal in the Distinguished Club program. So thanks, Ray, for re-emphasizing that. Elizabeth, thanks for adding in. You said the timetable is perfect, that you've been around along as well, and you have been in the habit of doing the elections in May, preparing for the TLI in June. Absolutely, yeah. And I'm glad that you pointed out too, that it does make a difference in the momentum of the new officer administration by being prepared for service. Yeah, you're absolutely right on that. What you said, Elizabeth, too, with you being around for as long as I've been around, we recognize how on earth can our new officers go to a June TLI if we don't have them in place until, you know, after that time. So the earlier we can do it, the better. And I know inside of the club leadership handbook and even the club constitution, Toastmasters International is a little lenient. And what I mean by that being lenient, they tell you that you can do your club elections 2 weeks, or determine your slate 2 weeks before the time you're going to do the election. And I say that's lenient because I'm thinking, no, if you have clubs where people wait until the last minute to do things, that may not be the best. And even though I belong to WAYO, even in WAYO, we have a tendency not to make decisions and make decisions fast. So I need to prep them at least 4 weeks before something, not 2 weeks before something important that happens. So to decide the election slate 2 weeks before the election, that means by our second meeting in April, which usually is around the conference time, just tell you that, we are still looking at not necessarily having a slate. We will be past the election time in May in order for us to get our slate together. So no, we do March, so that way people have enough time to think about serving in the role. Great. So thanks, Elizabeth. I love that comment. Mark, thank you for your question. You say, even if officers are installed in May, their term starts on July 1st. Absolutely. That's a great question. Yes, their term starts on July 1st, yet we know the learning of a club officer role does not start on July 1st. The learning of a club officer role really should have been taking place as soon as you said, yes, you want to be a club officer. And more than likely before you said yes, that you want to be a club officer. So that's a great comment or great question, Mark, that you made there. The term does start July 1st of this year, and then it'll end June 30th of next year. And for any year that an officer for your club is serving, it always starts on July 1st and ends the next year on June 30th. So that's a great question. Yeah. Look here. Thanks, Maureen. I'm looking at your comment. You says, and follow on. Yeah, there was a new phrase on the slide. Yes, it was Club Leadership Committee. It was, Maureen. Yeah, if we do acronyms, which we always do, don't we? You said would be CLC. Yep, CLC. That's exactly what it would be. And I'm imagining, Mar, in another year or so, we more than likely will see the club leadership handbook having that acronym in parentheses, the club leadership committee. They have to actually get us out of the habit of saying nominating committee, because I still say nominating committee, whether it's at the district level or the club level. Yet I'm recognizing again, because they are the organization, or we are the organization where leaders are made, the terms are changing. And that's a great reflection of leadership development by calling them the leadership committees. So the club leadership committee and the district leadership committee. So great questions. Awesome. I'm simply reviewing everyone, making sure I did not miss any. Oh, hey, Cheryl, thank you for letting me know that was Sandra's picture, but you are here. Hey, hey. And LG Aristo, I see that you had typed in, you say you are new to Toastmasters and would like to learn more about the election process. Great. LG Aristo, let me know if LG is the name of your phone or if that is really your name, your initials. So I will pause for a moment as I'm still scrolling through. Yes, yes, yes. I think I covered everything. I'm seeing everyone's comments. I did not miss any questions, which is great. So what I did, I gave you all at least the month by month walkthrough. Now, let me share with you some other insider information. Some of this insider information is going to be about the election process itself, as well as some of the installation tools that you can use. So therefore, let me go back to the actual screen share. Awesome. I'm also positioning my chat box. That way I can see any questions that come in. Now, this is where we paused. We have paused on the month of June. You know, those are the action items. Oh, did I pause too soon on the month of June? Oh, I mentioned the predecessor, didn't I? I talked about the predecessor. If you're taking on a new club officer role, make certain that you're working with the predecessor. Yet I know what I didn't mention before I stopped the screen share initially. I did not mention start preparing your club success plan. The club success plan and the Distinguished Club program go hand in hand. They are a way for the new administration that's taking office on July 1st to start setting the goals for the entire club for 1 year. So that club success plan, if you start preparing it in June, helps you with sharing the information with your area director when they come for their visit. And it also helps to share with your club members. So your club members will know what what actions they'll need to take in order to assist your club with achieving your club success plan. Now, take into account club success plan, Distinguished Club program, they go hand in hand. That's one of the resources that I want you to make certain that you pull from the Toastmasters International website. I will make sure that I provide you with other links, but I don't think that I gave you the link or that I have that link prepped. So if someone can pull that link for me now, drop it in the chat box for us for the club success plan. And I think the way they have it listed is called the Distinguished Club program, club success plan, or club success plan and Distinguished Club program. They're all in one resource that you can download from Toastmasters International. Great. I know that link will pop up at some point. I'm saying that out loud. I'm asking someone to grab that for me because I don't want to forget at the end of this session to make certain that you have that. Now, with the nomination process, an inside look at club elections, you want to understand what you're doing during the nomination process. Now, you looked at the nomination process from more of a simplistic version, and that is basically calling your membership, finding out who's interested in an officer role and who's interested in a committee role. Yeah, here's what Toastmasters International, thanks so much, Mark, for that link. Appreciate it. Toastmasters International actually says that when we are dealing with the nominations, there are a few things that we're doing. Now, notice I have before you an image of the club constitution, and I'm telling you that this is Article 6, the officer section, section number 5, very specifically. So I literally got this from the club constitution. Now, I put it in bulleted information. There's a lot more there. I only highlighted a few key points. For instance, your nomination committee is now called your club leadership committee. Your club leadership committee is made up of your active members. The idea is that the immediate past club president will be the chair of this committee. Makes sense, right? They were the leader last year. They are an advisor to the club right now. They can assist and they can spearhead that nomination committee or that leadership committee. The leadership committee should have 3 people, and that is including your club leadership committee chair of the immediate past president. So the immediate past club president plus 2 other members will help to make up that committee. And then there's one other thing that I highlighted here, or one other point I should say that I highlighted here, and that is the fact that the committee will present the report of only active individual members who have consented to serve. Now, the reason I highlighted that statement is for 2 reasons. Number 1, active members are your members who have paid their dues and they have been regularly attending your club meetings. You may have members that are a part of your club right now who pay their dues, but they have missed 3 or more consecutive meetings. They are no longer considered active, they are considered inactive members. Inactive members are ineligible to hold a club leader role. So do take that into account. Who are my members that have paid, my members that are also coming, my members that are participating? These would be the individuals that you would reach out to for a club officer role. And the last point that I mentioned, the reason why I highlighted that, thanks, Deborah. Yes, the reason I highlighted the committee has to present the report of the active individuals and those who have consented, meaning you don't want a club member to say out loud in a club meeting, hey, I didn't agree that I was going to serve as the sergeant at arms. I don't know where you got that from. Meaning don't blindside anyone. Make certain that the people who are asking, that you are asking to be a club leader, make certain that they do agree that they will serve. Anyone still on the fence by the time the report is presented in April, you want to make sure that you get a clarification or get their confirmation before that official slate is submitted. So those are a few of the points regarding the nomination committee. Let me now give you some insight on the election process itself. So this is the month of May. The nominations are happening in April and in March. So in March and April, you're gathering those details. Yet in the month of May, you're handling the actual elections. And Toastmasters International, according to the club leadership handbook, says there are 9 steps that you will follow. Let me first share with you what's listed for us to follow, and then I'll take any questions that you have. So step number 1 is where you accept nominations for the office of president. So take into account, this is at your meeting, the day of the elections, and you're starting with the role of president first. You call for nominations from the floor. You're asking if there are any nominations from the floor. Ask for someone to second the nomination, and the individual who is seconding the nomination can give a short speech about the individual that they're nominating. Notice it says that the seconding speech is usually about 2 minutes, and it's given in alphabetical order by the candidate's last name. So that's a little of the protocol that's listed there. Yet what's different that I don't believe we had before is the fact that The person making the second to the nomination can give a speech about the person being nominated. Interesting. Step number 3 is where you ask the nominee if they will accept the position if elected. And then you can allow the nominee to actually provide a 2-minute speech on their behalf. Usually we don't hear speeches at elections unless you have a contested election. So for instance, with our district elections on April 24th, we have several roles that have 2 individuals running for the same position. We're going to hear speeches from them. They will deliver 2-minute speeches, yet we never really had that before at the club level, or at least I don't know, perhaps we have. Yet this is step number 3 for the election process. Step number 4 is where you go through all the roles basically, and you're asking for any additional nominations for the office of president. When that's done, you do the same thing for all of the other roles. You are going to make certain that you entertain a motion to close the nominations for the office of president. So this is basically, first you start with president, you get all the nominations out the way, you allow the nominees to deliver speeches, and when all of the potential candidates for president are done, you have someone make a motion to close out the nominations for president. You will need to have a second, so a member will need to second the closing out of the nominations for president, and then the members are instructed to cast their votes. Now, the idea is that the votes will be done secretly by ballot. Since we're virtual, you more than likely will do it virtually inside of Zoom or inside of some other platform where you can do it in private. Yet allow them to vote by ballots. And then step number 7 is saying have 2 people do the tallying of the ballots. Typically, it'll be your sergeant at arms, the current sergeant at arms, or you may find that you're going to have the immediate past club president do it, or you might end up having 2 individuals that are neutral and not a part of the nomination committee at all. So it really is up to your club. You'll notice it doesn't give any restrictions as to who can do the counting. We simply need 2 people to do the tally of the votes. You announce the winner, and just in case at the club level you have a tie, you'll notice we're being instructed that we will resolve the tie by discarding all ballots, have people vote again. If another tie occurs, you discard all of those ballots and you have all of the members vote again. You will keep voting in essence until there is no longer a tie. I am really amazed that that 9th step got changed, because before, a few years ago, I remember we were making the attempt to do that at the club level for one club when the club leadership handbook said flip a coin. Flip a coin to break that tie. Well, the flipping of the coin is no longer what we do at the club level. We're now doing what's being done at the district and the international level. And that is, if you have a tie at the club level, you are going to discard all ballots and vote again and vote again and vote again until there isn't a tie. So I want to pause there. I've shared with you some information on the election process, those 9 steps, details on the nomination process. What thoughts, what comments, what questions do you have on that information? And what I'm doing right now is simply scrolling through the chat box to make certain that I didn't miss any questions that may have come in. And of course, if you have any questions, feel free to unmute yourself. You can raise your hand also. It'll give me the visual that you have a question and I can see you quickly. Oh, great. Thanks, Mark and Marin. I'm looking at the chat box. I appreciate that. The Distinguished Club Program and Club Success Plan. Yes, that version. Sheila, I think you might be typing. Oh, Rebecca, thank you for the question. You say, can you please explain the process for the second again? And Rebecca, are you referring to step number 2, or you're just saying repeat the entire process for a second time?
Oh, yeah. Hi, I'm just going to speak here. The step number 2, I just want to make sure I understand that process for when someone is seconded and that person who does the seconding can give a 2-minute, whatever, I'm losing my words, but speak for 2 minutes. So can you just explain that one more time again, make sure I got it?
Yes. First of all, Rebecca, let me put this disclaimer out there. At the club level, I have never seen that being done. I don't even imagine most of our clubs will even do that. That's just my Cassandra disclaimer being out there. Yes. Okay. From what I understand the protocol to mean, and that is, say for instance, I wanted to run for Vice President of Education. A nomination or the original, someone had stated the motion to nominate me for Vice President of Education. And then you, Rebecca, wanted to second the motion of me being the Vice President of Education. You would second the motion, yet you would then speak for 2 minutes, sharing the reason why you are nominating me or helping to second the motion, if you will, for me to serve in that role. So that's how I'm understanding that to be. Now, I will open this up and ask, because I don't want to be in a bubble and think that no one is doing this at all. Has any club actually done those steps in that way? And if so, let both Rebecca and I know how that goes for your club. And I'm looking at the gallery, I'm looking at the chat, and I'm recognizing right now, no one's raising their hand. I don't see anyone really putting anything in the chat box so far. There you have it, Rebecca. If something comes, I love that. Marin says, nope, I don't remember any seconding. Yeah, right, any seconding. First of all, how about in our club, we have a hard time getting anybody to really want to think about some of the serious roles, let alone having 2 people running for those roles, right? Thanks, Sheila. I see you say, amazing. The past president left the club and the following president stepped down and you just volunteered. Good. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, and I would imagine with you volunteering, you find that's why you're really looking forward to knowing what you can do to prep the team for next year. So thank you, Sheila, for what you said earlier. Thank you for that. And you're welcome, Rebecca. And thanks again, Rebecca. And I'll tell you, I put it in the slideshow, Rebecca, simply because it's the process and it's in the club leadership handbook. Yet I will say this, clubs find what works for them. And if you find all of that seconding and the lot, you're not really having members that are in roles. You have the people you have, will be the ones that are in the roles. You don't necessarily, and this is the Cassandra disclaimer, you do not necessarily need to follow all those steps in that order. You might find that you will have a full slate and someone in your club will say, can we just dispense with the secret balloting and can we just have a nomination to accept all candidates that are listed on the ballot? And someone else will say, I second, and then you'll end up saying it has been moved and seconded that all of the candidates listed on the ballot be accepted for the roles in which they are nominated. All those in favor say aye, all those opposed say nay, and you have your slate and you call it a day. That's your election. Now, I made that up in the moment, and that's simply because over history, my history with experience in both of the clubs that I was in, that's typically how we did it. It was pulling teeth to get candidates in the first place. It's getting a little bit easier, but it's still somewhat challenging to get all 7 club officer roles filled. And therefore, we don't find that we're going through a lot of that nomination information. Any other thoughts, any other questions? Cheryl, thanks for saying, you said, it is always the first time. Yes, always the first time. I was really looking forward to them keeping that flip the coin, because I definitely have seen the tie, but I was so surprised when they said, get rid of that coin. They got rid of the coin. You keep voting, keep voting, keep voting. Oh, well. All right, everyone, let me go back to the final segment. I want to make certain that I share with you here. This was the 9th step of the election process. And I love the fact Mark asked about the term for the officers. So this is a reminder that any officer that is voted in using that election process, they start July 1st and their term ends on June 30th. Yet what happens if you end up having a vacancy? And I'm putting this in because I definitely have experienced this. We've had area directors that when they do their first visit or their first round of visit within July, August, September, they're asking questions or being asked the questions by clubs. What do? We have an officer who left. What do we do? Well, here's the short answer for that. Every club officer role in which you had initially elected someone into, and remember the elections are happening in May. Therefore, if you start the club year in July and somewhere around August 17th, a club leader needs to leave that role for whatever reason, you want to make sure that you hold a special election at your next club meeting after the vacancy has been mentioned. So think about this, and I'd like to think about it in terms of at least within 30 days, you're going to fulfill that vacancy. So within 30 days, and I'm just thinking about, my club and our calendar, we meet twice a month. If that happened around the 17th of the month, that's in between our club meetings. So that means the next meeting that happens after the vacancy occurs, we have to announce that the vacancy occurred and we're holding a special election. We would more than likely at that time also ask members who are interested in serving in that role to come forth and to let who knows, probably the immediate past club president, because again, they were the ones that were in charge of the nomination committee. So we would make certain that we get those that are interested, or even at that point, the club president may have talked to someone and said, would you take this role? And that person may have said yes. So the special election would be, we're voting in this individual who has already said yes, they'll take the role, as opposed to being, it's an open role, who would like to take it? We're going to do the election for it on this day. All those who want to run for it, you'll run from the floor. That's a little bit too open. I believe that I know for my club environment, I think we would at least say on the day that is being announced, the vacancy is open, we would at least share how to let us know that you're interested. We will probably also have that immediate past president working behind the scenes to think about, okay, who did you have on your list before, or who might be a prime candidate? Call somebody, see who might take the role, because in 2 weeks, we're going to vote them in. So it's a different process for clubs, I think, that will go through or that have gone through vacancies before. They may not have filled their vacancies in this way. So this is a slightly different process, yet our club leadership handbook is suggesting this is the best way to handle those vacancies. Don't let a vacancy remain open, in essence, fill it with someone willing to serve in that role. And then this is the final segment for the most part, and this is about club officer installations. And with the club officer installations, keep in mind, they're in office, they said yes, they have started, and more than likely the installation may happen after the new club year. Sometimes we're able to get the officers installed before the old club year ends. So remember, in March, we're selecting, or we're having that nomination committee formed. We're having that club leadership committee calling all the leaders of the club or the members of the club, finding out who wants to be on a committee or in an officer role. In April, we're presenting those interested individuals or the slate to the membership. In May, we're electing them. So that first meeting in May, we're getting them elected. You may find at the next meeting in May or your meetings in June, you can go ahead and get your club officers installed. A lot of clubs, though, end up installing their officers in the month of July or in the month of August. Again, it really will depend upon your club. Yet this is information that comes from the club leadership handbook that lets you know what to do with your club installation process. You're dedicating at least 12 to 15 minutes of your club meeting to the installation process. They suggest that you do it toward the end of the meeting, usually in the space that's dedicated for the club business meeting. Your outgoing president is the one that's arranging the installation ceremony. They may lead the ceremony themselves. They may bring in a guest to do it. And that's where I say, if you know who your area director is, the current or the incoming, either one of them can lead that installation for you. Make a big to-do with it. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking about ta-da. Since I'm thinking about ta-da, let me go ahead and give that celebration icon. That Zoom icon there is letting us know, celebrate it. And these are some of the resources that you can use to celebrate the installation ceremony. The installation materials of your club officer pin set, the gavel, an award for the president. So that could be for the outgoing president, give them an award. And speaking of outgoing club officers, you may want to purchase gifts for them. And you'll notice that that toastmasters.org/gifts link is listed. So feel free to go out there and check out the gifts that you could get for your club officers. Yet most incoming club officers love the pins, those lapel pins, and that's the image there. That is a set for all 7, or actually all 8. I say 8 because the past president gets a pin as well. So there is a pin for all 7 of the officers, from the president, VPE, VPM, VPPR, the secretary, the treasurer, and the sergeant at arms, along with your immediate past club president. So you can treat them all to a pin, and that helps to set the tone for the installation ceremony. And in the installation script, by the way, and let me go back for a moment, this image is of the club officer installation script, which has been updated in this year. So I want to make certain I give that to you in a moment. I'll be putting that into the chat box for you as well. I think they've modified it in order to get it down to 2 different pages, yet you will be able to add in the information. I'll give it to you in the Word document. That way you can adjust it accordingly. Yet you'll use your installation script along with the club officer pin and the gavel, and then you'll lead your installation ceremony. Right. So these are a few of the resources that I'll make sure that I drop in the chat box for you. Of course, you know, the Bible of what you do as a club leader is your club leadership handbook. The club constitution is another resource. I appreciate many of you mentioning how much you appreciated learning about the active members and the inactive members. Well, the reason I know that is because of the club constitution. And in my club, I've had to institute that breakdown in order to make certain I can preserve the integrity of our speaking space in our club. My club is pretty large, and to be on the agenda to deliver speeches is getting really tough. We do a pre-meeting just to make space for people to be able to give speeches. So we're looking anywhere between 4 to possibly 7 people speaking anytime that we're delivering a speech or that we have a meeting. And that's because we're doing a pre-meeting before the actual meeting in order to get that in. Well, in the past, we were having individuals who were not active members signing up on the agenda to take a speaking role. Hey, how are you going to do that? And we haven't seen you in the last 4 months. You're just going to show up and deliver a speech? Oh, no, we got to figure something out. Well, whenever I want to know what to figure out, I usually go to the club constitution to find out. And that's when I learned about the distinction between active members and inactive members. Inactive members also cannot compete in speech contests. Yeah, it gives some people motivation to become active again, isn't it? So take a look at the club constitution. I'll make sure you have that list. That link. I'll also give you the link for the installation script, or I'll actually give that to you, I believe, as an actual Word document. And then I'll give the link to you for the club officer tools link And then the club leadership checklist will be a PDF document gift from me to you that will run through all 12 months of the year that will help you and your fellow club leaders to know what exactly you should be focused on doing in the club year, that helps to position you with the club quality that you need, the member retention that's needed, as well as the member recruitment. So I think that is all I have. So this is a perfect time for me to officially stop sharing the screen and to move into the final Q&A segment. What additional thoughts you have? I like that. Elizabeth says, links, please. Yes, let me go to my little cheat sheet here and copy everything. So I'm gonna grab the links first. And as I'm grabbing links, everyone, if you do have questions or comments, you can definitely put them inside of the chat box. Here goes the links. I think there should be about 5 of them there. Awesome. Yes, Promilla, I see that you have your hand. Oh, thank you. No, that's a round of applause. I appreciate that. Thank you. I am going now, everyone, into the file. Therefore, I can grab a hold for you, the 2 files that I was talking about. Yet you are still more than welcome. Continue to use the chat box. You can put any comments or any questions inside. Yes, there is quite a bit here. As I'm looking through my file to grab the actual files that I'm looking for, or the documents rather, I'm just taking a peek over at the chat box. If you have a comment or a question that you would prefer to speak, you can feel free to go ahead and unmute your microphone and speak as I go through and pull these documents for you. Okay, let me see what's going on with this first one. If it doesn't come through, I'm going to email it to everyone. I'm getting some type of error message here with the first handout. So let me see what happens with the second one. All right, looks like the second one is going to come through. I will resend the, yes. So the handout, the gift from me to you, has come through successfully as a PDF document. Let me see what's going on with this Word document. The Word document is the script, and I didn't want to turn the script into a PDF because the way Toastmasters International has it for you. Nope, I know what I'll do. I'm going to go inside. Maybe I did give you that script link already. Let me double check the scripts. Oh, I did. Perfect. Yes, Cassandra, sometimes you are better prepared than you thought. Here we go. Everyone, since I could not send the script as a file, I'm resending the script link. This link will take you directly to the resource library where you will be able to download that as a Word document onto your own system. Hey, Rich, I see. And Rich, I apologize. I keep calling you Rich because that's the first thing my eyes see. Do you prefer me to call you Robert or Robert?
Robert, yes. Or Bob.
Rob,
yeah, Rich is my last name.
There we go. Thank you. Well, I'll go with Bob then. Bob, I'm looking at your comment. You say when you were an area governor, you got to do the club officers installation and it was a nice experience. Yeah, thank you for saying that. Yeah, and I'm glad to know that area governors and area directors are still being looked upon to actually lead those. It's a very special session. Yeah, good.
I agree, yeah.
And for some area directors and area governors, it becomes like the highlight of their role when they get the opportunity to be asked to do something special like that. So definitely everyone consider your current area director before they leave office, especially if your club officers are elected before June 30th. And if not, it's a great opportunity to meet your new area director if you hold it in July. So somewhere around that last part of July, the beginning of August, the new area directors would be ready to rock and roll. Invite them out to do that for you. Good, good, good. I'm reviewing again, just double checking that I didn't miss any questions or any comments. Let me know if you were able to access the links, and you can do a reaction icon with the thumbs up. You can let me know with your thumbs up reaction icon or applause if you were able to access the links as well as the documents, the files. Great. Awesome. Good. Yay. Wonderful. Now, when I send the link for the recording, I will also make sure that if there were attachments, I will go ahead and put attachments in the email too, just to be on the safe side, and also to make sure for the individuals that will get the recording and the recording only, that they'll have access to the documents that were referred to in this session. Good. All right. Hey, Sheila, I see you're giving the reaction icons. Did you need to unmute and actually speak?
I'm not finding the area where I can copy the chat information, the links on my telephone.
Oh, that's a great point. For those who use the telephone, would you happen to know the trick to let Sheila know how to save the chat? If that feature even exists, I'm not even sure.
That feature will not exist on a mobile device or an iPad, only the computer.
Oh,
thank you.
Thanks, Bev.
Thank you. I'll stop struggling with it.
I appreciate you asking that question, Sheila. And I'm glad that I saw you. I was double checking. Good. Yes. Awesome. Great, everyone. Well, it sounds as if we don't have any more questions.
Cassandra?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, I'm at Sandra's house. That's why I'm on her computer.
Okay.
So when I get home, will I be able to get the links?
That's why I'll send it inside of the email.
Okay, great.
I'll send them as attachments or even links inside of the email. That way you can access it and everyone who's not here can access it too. There were several people who signed up but were not able to come. And thanks, Sheila. I will. Sheila says, please email. So I will make sure. Yep.
Okay, thanks.
You're so welcome. And thank you. Yeah, because it's throwing me off. I keep seeing Sandra and I keep wanting to say, hey, Sandra. You're like, no, it's not Sandra, it's Cheryl.
Hey.
Hey. See,
I'm visiting her grandsons.
Oh, nice.
And 3 o'clock came before I could get home.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, everyone, it sounds like we had a full session. Are there any final thoughts, comments, or questions that you have for me regarding club elections? Awesome. I'm not seeing any comments in the chat boxes or any microphones becoming unmuted. Therefore, if you got something from this segment, thanks, Rebecca, for saying it was very helpful. Good. Thanks, Pramila. I appreciate that. Thanks, Rich. I see that thumbs up. Yes. So thank you. Yes, I was just getting ready to say, oh, thank you for the tada, Marin. I love that. Thanks, Cheryl, for the thumbs up. Yes. Oh, good, good. Thanks, Elizabeth. And thanks, Sheila, for saying you can't wait to share. Awesome. Well, everyone, you will have my email address and you can reach out to me anytime that you have any questions about this. If something isn't quite clear or you want to know how to follow that 9-step election process and make it work for your club, I am always available as a sounding board to assist you with that. As I said, the 9 steps, I was like, who is doing all of this? Yet we know that's what's being recommended. It's working for clubs. Yet we're going to make certain that your club can still have a successful election. And even if you only end up with 4 people in office, we still want those club officer lists submitted on time. And think June 1st, you want it in before June 1st. So that way they get the invitation to the TLI. All right, everyone. Until next time, I may see you sooner than later, but I'm hoping to be able to hang out with everyone at the annual convention, not convention, annual conference. Convention is in August. Let me stay in April for the month for the time being. So I see everyone at the next District 103 event, if not sooner. Thanks, Sam. Thank you all. Everybody take care. Enjoy the rest of the weekend that's left. Thank you. Bye-bye.